All right, well, welcome to Gentle Flow to Nidra. My name is Jessica. This class is brought to you by Elevate Yoga in Denver, Colorado. And today we will start just in a comfortable seat. So whatever a comfortable seat looks like for you, maybe that's sitting back on your heels, like so, or maybe that's sitting in a crossed leg, or a half lotus or a full lotus, wherever you're at. If you are sitting with your legs crossed and your hips are pretty tight, maybe your knees are up here like this, grab a pillow or a blanket or a bolster or something to sit on, and that'll help open up the hips and release the knees a little bit. So once you've found your comfortable seat, get all the wiggles and jiggles out, scratch your nose, do whatever you got to do. And then if it's comfortable, close down your eyes. And let the crown of the head start to reach up towards the sky. And as the crown of your head lifts up and feels sort of light, imagine your hips sinking down and feel weighted and heavier in your hips. So your hips are grounded and staying connected to the earth, while the spine and the crown of the head, with that connection to the root, can kind of float up and be a little bit lighter, reaching up towards the heavens. Maybe there's just a slight tuck of the chin, just to let the back of the neck be long. Shoulders are heavy and away from the ears, down the back. And just begin to notice what it feels like in your body in this moment right now. Notice if it feels chaotic or still, achy, pleasant. Notice if you're holding your belly in, and see if you can release the muscles of the belly. So you just let your Buddha belly kind of hang out here. Start to take a big inhale through the nose, pulling the breath all the way down into the belly. And as you've released those muscles, creating a little bit of space for the breath to move into. And so I'll place our right hand on our belly and our left hand on our heart. And with an inhale, pull the breath down into the belly and press into that right hand. And the breath will flow up through the rib cage and then expand through the heart space, finding a lift in the left hand. And as you exhale, the chest will fall, the rib cage sort of pulls back together, and the belly pulls back towards the spine slightly. And just keep your awareness and your focus on this full belly breathing, where you're moving in and out with the stomach and the ribs and the heart. That whole torso, whole length of the torso is moving with your inhale and your exhale. And just bring your awareness to these movements. See if you can start to extend the length of your inhale and your exhale, letting them grow deeper and longer. And letting the exhale really drag out. Not in a rush to go anywhere in the mind or with the breath. Just finding some joy right here. In the breath, you're breathing into the torso. And the breath, you're exhaling out through the nose. Don't be scared to make a little noise with the breath. Maybe your breath is really loud, and that's all the better. The sound of your own breath can anchor you right where you're at. It helps to anchor the mind so that it doesn't run away, following thought patterns. Take one more inhale with your hand on your belly and your hand on your heart. And as you exhale, just drop the hands down to the legs. Take another inhale and let the crown of the head reach up towards the sky. And as you exhale, just drop your chin down to your chest, just letting the head hang heavy, but let the shoulders keep pulling towards one another. So the shoulders don't round, the shoulders stay up. But let the head hang heavy. You'll feel this along the back of the neck and the upper back. And keep allowing the muscles of the belly to release and bringing that inhale all the way down. With your next inhale, you're just going to roll the right ear up towards the right shoulder, feeling the lengthening along the left side of the neck. And as you exhale, the chin will just roll back down to the chest. And with your next inhale, you'll roll left ear up to left shoulder, feeling that pull on the opposite side. And then you'll just move like this. Let your breath guide the movement. So as your exhale begins, start to roll the chin back down. And then once your next inhale begins, roll that right ear up to the right shoulder. Exhaling as you come down. Inhaling up to the other side. So just move with your own breath. If one side feels particularly good to hold, feel free to hold for a couple of breaths. Or just keep moving side to side, letting the breath be slow, and then therefore the movement be slow as the breath guides the movement. Wherever you're at, just go ahead and do 2 more rounds on both sides. Keep bringing the awareness back to the breath if it wanders away. Bring the awareness into releasing the muscles of the belly. Good. We'll all meet with our chin to our chest. Take the fingertips of your right hand and place them on your forehead, and then gently press the head back up. So you can release that right hand. And now we're just going to let the left ear just drop straight down towards the left shoulder. Take your right hand and reach it out. Let the right fingertips graze the earth. Good. If this feels like a lot going on right here, perfect. If you feel like you might want a little bit more out of this stretch, you can take that left hand, place it on top of the right ear. Give yourself a little pressure there. Good. Take a big inhale here. And then we're going to start to pull the fingers back towards the elbow, so like you're trying to high five the floor. Good, and really reach through the palm, and then maybe start to lift that right arm just a little bit and sort of swing it back and forth. Really pull the fingertips back and sort of just play with what this feels like. Good. Take one more big inhale here. And exhale, release the hand back to the floor. If you're holding onto that right ear, release it. Use the left fingertips to press the head back up through center nice and slow. Good, you might roll out the neck a little bit. We're gonna do the same thing on the other side. So this time we're gonna drop the right ear down to the right shoulder. Our left fingertips are gonna reach towards the earth and just graze the fingertips on the mat. And if this feels like plenty of pressure, great, hang out right here. If you want a little bit more, take that right hand and it will come up and over. Place it down on top of the head or the left ear and just apply a gentle amount of pressure. You're not really, pushing too hard. Good. You can hang out right here. Take a big inhale. Breathe into the back body, particularly the upper back body. Good. Exhale and start to pull those left fingertips back like you're trying to high five the floor. Good. You can start to lift up the left arm, but keep pulling the fingertips back. Good. You can play with how high up that arm goes. You probably won't want to go any higher than your shoulder. You can swing the arm back and forth slowly, loosening up those muscles, the nape of the neck, and the shoulder. Good. Take one more big inhale wherever you are. And as you exhale, release that left hand down. Release the top hand. Use the fingertips of the right hand to help press your head back up through center. Good, nice and slow. And again, maybe do some gentle neck rolls. Just kind of working it out. Good. Once you feel pretty complete there, we're just going to bring the arms out nice and wide. So spread the fingertips wide. Good. Reach, 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 like somebody's pulling on both of your middle fingers. Good. Reach through the crown of the head. Plant down through the sits bones. Take a big inhale. And then let's flip the palms down towards the earth. And we're going to start to make little circles with our arms. Good. Start to make your circles just a little bigger. And start to make them a little bigger. If your stuff gets in the way, you can just work around it. Nothing has to be perfect. Make them bigger. Just see how big you can get your circles. Good. And now start to go the other direction. Big circles the other way. Good. Now take those circles a little smaller. So they're still biggish. And a little smaller. And let's come back to those itty bitty circles, but going the opposite way. They might be a little faster than the big circles. Good. Now we're all going to inhale our arms straight up. Reach through the fingertips, maybe even squeeze the shoulders up towards the ears. So grow long through your side bodies, reach up. Good. Now as you exhale, the shoulders are going to slide down the back. Your right hand is going to move back. Your left hand is going to move forward. So now you've sort of twisted towards the right knee. Good. And now you're going to drop your left hand down to grab the right knee or the right thigh. The right hand is going to come down to the earth behind you. You'll walk it pretty close in, kind of press into the earth and sit up nice and tall. And you're going to twist around, attempting to look over the right shoulder. Take a big inhale into the belly, release the muscles of the belly. And a nice full exhale. Good. With your next inhale, we're going to unwind. Arms will come straight back up towards the sky. Bring the shoulders up to the ears. And with a slow exhale, let the shoulders start to melt down the back away from the ears, and then let the left hand go back and the right hand come forward. So now you've twisted towards that left knee. Go ahead and drop the right hand down to the left knee or the left thigh, left hand behind you. So you sit up nice and tall, and then start to, you can use sort of the pressure of your hand and knee if you want to get a little bit more of a twist, but you don't need to crank. Sit up nice and tall, and then just start to see if you can look over that left shoulder or towards the left shoulder in that direction. Take a nice big inhale here and notice if you're clenching in the tummy. Try to release. Find those long inhales and exhales that we practiced at the beginning of class. Good. With your next inhale, you're going to unwind. The arms are going to come all the way back up over the head. Good. Now from here, we're going to drop our right hand down by our side. Plant that right hand and keep your left sits bone, this one over here, grounded. And that left palm is going to come up and over, so a side bend. Good. And you might find plenty of stretch right here. Take a big inhale into that left side body. And if you feel like you want to get a little more, start to slide the right hand out, but keep that left sits bone, that left butt cheek, if you will, grounded. Good. And there might be a tendency to round forward here. We want to try to pull that left rib cage back and open up through the heart. Good. Breathing here. Finding some space between that left hip crease all the way out the left fingertips. Good. With your next inhale, we're going to come all the way back up through center. And we're going to drop the left hand down. And we're going to do the same thing on this side. So as you exhale, you'll start to find that side bend here. So again, this might be just as much as you need. Breathe into that right side body. Breathe into the space between the ribs. If you want a little bit more, start to slide that left hand out. Good, but keep that right sits bone grounded. Good, arching up and over, feeling a big opening and a big stretch between the right hip and the right shoulder. Noticing as you inhale, you might come out a little, and as you exhale, you might float in a little deeper. Good. With your next inhale, we'll all come all the way up. Both arms reach up. Good. Exhale, hands come down. Good. From here, we're going to bring our fingertips out in front. Notice if you're in a seat like this, seated on the ground with your legs crossed, notice which leg's in front. And we're going to bring our hands forward. And we're just going to start to walk the hands forward any amount. Try to keep the sits bones grounded. So if you've gone so far forward that your bum starts to lift up, then you've gone too far forward. So reaching the hands forward. We're sort of just doing a seated fold here. You want to keep the bum grounded. So you can go as far as you can with the bottom grounded. Maybe you can release the forehead onto the earth. Maybe you just sit up on the hands. Maybe this is more than enough. Find your place. We'll just take a couple breaths here. Let the belly expand. Feel the low back expand as you breathe in. Good. With your next inhale, you're going to start to walk the hands backwards. Coming all the way back up. And now you're going to switch the cross of your legs. So whichever leg was in front, go ahead and just bring the other leg in front. And we're going to do the same thing. So we'll sit up nice and tall first. And then we'll bring our hands down to the earth. Big inhale. And as you exhale, keeping both sits bones grounded, start to walk the hands forward any amount. Wherever you're at, go ahead and look down at the earth just so you can keep the back of the neck long. Maybe even pressing into the earth with the hands to help keep the bottom grounded. If it's available, release the head. But either way, wherever you're at, breathe into the belly. Maybe you feel the belly press into the legs. Hopefully you can feel some expansion in the low back. Good. With your next inhale, we'll slowly start to walk the hands backwards. Coming back up. Good. Let's bring our legs out in front. Pull the toes back towards the nose so the feet are flexed. Good. And anybody's like me, I'm kind of double jointed in the knees. So it helps me to have something under my knees. If you feel really, really tight behind the knees, you can put something behind your knees or underneath your knees. Otherwise, just keep your legs flat. That's fine too. So we're all going to sit up nice and tall. Our arms are going to reach up. And then we're going to try to act like you want to look over your toes like it's a cliff you're trying to see over, right? So the tendency is to want to bend from our natural waistline at the bottom of our rib cage, where we sort of hunch over like this. I want you to think about trying to bend from the hips, like you're coming forward, keeping the back long. So the arms will come up at first. Find your edge, wherever that is. Maybe it's right here. Maybe maybe sitting straight up feels like a lot of work on the back of the legs. That's fine. But if you can come forward a little more, cool too. Bring your hands down wherever that edge is. Take a big inhale. And a big exhale. Maybe you can go a millimeter further. Go ahead and look down at your legs. So you're long in the back of the neck. Take one more big inhale here. And as you exhale, you can allow the spine to round over any amount. Even if you're up here, you can let the spine round, but keep that pull on the back of the legs. So keep leaning forward. Keep the toes pulling back towards the nose, the feet flexed. If you can grab your feet, feel free. If not, don't worry. It's all good. Whether or not we can grab our feet doesn't say one thing about us. Just take a big inhale and fill up the back body with your breath. Know that there's a stretch happening from the tip of your big toe down the feet, back along the heels, all along the calves, the hamstrings, up the glutes, up the low back, along the spine, all the way to the crown of the head. You're expanding all along the back body. One more big inhale. And a nice big exhale. Go ahead and start to roll back up. Good. We're all going to come onto our hands and knees. Good. Now, go ahead and plant the knees underneath the hips, hands underneath the shoulders, spread the fingers nice and wide. We're going to find cat-cow. So start to flare the hips, drop the belly, press the heart between the biceps. So now you're opening that full front body from hips to crown. Good, and as you exhale, we'll tuck the pelvis, arch to the spine, really press the earth away. Let your head hang heavy like a bowling ball. With the back of the heart open, and then as you start to inhale, you'll drop the belly, flare the hips, shoulder blades come together, or try to come towards one another. Good. Let's do that twice more. Exhaling into cat. Inhaling into cow. Good. We'll all meet back in a neutral spine. Start to curl the toes under. Pull the belly button towards the spine, and then lift the knees. So you're in a floating table. You're really pressing the earth away here with the hands. Good. Start to press the heart towards the thighs. We're going to make our way into down dog. Good. Let the shoulders be broad and spinning away from one another. Keep a nice bend in the knees as you press the heart towards the thighs and get a nice long spine. Start to send the hips up high. Maybe you come onto your tiptoes. And then slowly release the heels down towards the earth, any amount. Good. You can play with your down dog. Maybe walk it out. Bend one knee dramatically, straightening the opposite leg. Sometimes I like to shake it out. Just shake your booty a little bit. That can release the low back. Good. Let's inhale, lift up our left leg. Reach it up high, three-limb dog. Good. And drop that left leg down. With your next inhale, you're going to lift up your right leg. Three-limb dog. Reaching up. Good. Exhale, drop it back down. Inhale, look forward at your hands. And then start to walk your feet towards your hands. Bend in the knees as much as you need to. Maybe even bring the feet a little bit wide. Grab opposite elbow with opposite hand. Let the head hang heavy like a bowling ball. Maybe sway a little from side to side. The more, if it feels like you're hanging in space, bend your knees more dramatically. Maybe you bend your knees pretty dramatically to try to bring the belly to the thighs. I'm more worried about releasing in the low back than having your legs straight. Good. If grabbing onto opposite elbows isn't really working for you, you can place your hands on the floor, get a little bit of a lift. Good. Wherever you're at, take a big inhale and a full exhale. Good. If you're holding onto your elbows, release your hands to the earth. And we're just going to walk the feet away from the hands. Good. We're all going to come into a plank pose, right? So shimmy the feet back. Press through the heels. Press through the palms so the back of the heart is sort of doming up towards the sky. Pull the belly button back towards the spine, which will bring the hip points, a little bit closer to the bottom of the rib cage. You're crunching in through the belly there. Good, reaching through the crown of the head. Take one more nice big inhale right here. And exhale, let the knees drop down. And then let the feet pop up and cross the ankles. We're going to lower the torso down, so the elbows are just going to go straight back, hugging the rib cage as we slow lower all the way down. Can release the feet. And let the tops of the feet press into the mat, forehead on the mat. Hands are underneath your shoulders. Good. Start to really press into the tops of the feet. So the tops of the feet will stay grounded. Reach through the toes while the feet stay grounded. Start to press through the hips. And then imagine somebody is pulling a string out the crown of your head, lifting you up, and then slowly lift the back of the heart. Keep the feet and the hips pressing down. Baby cobra. And exhale, release. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, press into the feet. Press into the hips, reach through the toes, reach through the crown of the head. Lift up, baby cobra. This time, maybe lift your hands. If it's too much, you can put your hands right back down. Breathe right here. And as you exhale, release all the way down. Start to curl your toes under. Press up through table. Let's bring the big toes together and let your knees come wide, maybe as wide as the mat. Start to press your bottom towards your heels, finding a child's pose. So reaching the arms forward and attempting to bring the forehead down to the mat. If the forehead doesn't quite reach the mat, no big deal. Grab a block or a pillow or a blanket or a rolled up towel. Place it under there. Bring the earth closer to you. Take a big breath into the hips. Big breath into the low back. Big breath under the armpits. Come back to that breath we started at the beginning of class. Letting the belly extend towards the earth with the inhale. Good. With your next inhale, we're just going to roll back up to table and make our way onto our backs. Once you're flat on your back, go ahead and pull your knees in towards your belly. Place your hands on the tops of the knees and start to draw little circles on the ceiling with your knees, massaging your low back. Good. Now start to draw circles in the other direction. And then find a place of stillness. Reach between your knees, so pull the soles of the feet together, and maybe you can reach the outer edges of your feet. Maybe you grab onto your ankles or even your shins. Kind of just depends on how long your arms are and how far back your legs want to come. Either way, we're going to find happy baby. So the soles of the feet are going to face the ceiling. You're going to try to pull that right knee, or pull the knee, both knees, but you can do half at a time if you want. Pull the knees down towards the armpits. Good. Breathing here. You can rock side to side in your happy baby. You can just find stillness, trying to keep the low back flat. Take one more breath right here. And as you exhale, just pull the knees back together. And let's send the legs straight up towards the sky. Flex the toes back towards the nose. And then start to reach through your left heel and slowly reach that left heel down towards the left corner of the mat, nice and slow. Eventually, once it finds the earth, let that left leg relax and start to reach through that right heel. And slowly start to send the right heel towards the right corner of the mat. And let it relax once it meets the earth. Let the arms come down by the sides. From here, we are going to move into the Yoga Nidra portion of our class. So if you need to grab a blanket or a pillow can feel really nice under the knees if the low back feels any tightness. The body will start to cool down. Not that, I don't know if we got too warm, but the body will start to cool down either way. So it can be nice to have a blanket. And you'll just find yourself in a Shavasana. And I will walk you through your Yoga Nidra. If lying down is, for whatever reason, not comfortable, you can sit up. It's your practice. You can do whatever you want. But I will guide the Yoga Nidra as if you are in Shavasana. So as you get ready, lying down in Shavasana, make yourself, wherever you're at, as comfortable as possible. Keep your feet apart and let them flap a little sideways. The arms are slightly away from the body with the palms of your hands facing upward. Adjust your blankets and your position so that you can practice Yoga Nidra without moving and with no physical discomfort. Please close your eyes and keep them closed. The practice of Yoga Nidra is the act of hearing and the act of feeling. And these are the only important factors. In Yoga Nidra, you function on the level of awareness and the level of listening. In dreams, you have no control, but in Yoga Nidra, you are the creator of the dream. Say to yourself mentally, I will try not to sleep. I will only listen to your voice. Give yourself some time to become calm and steady. Take a deep breath in, and as you breathe in, feel a calmness spreading throughout the body. And as you breathe out, say to yourself mentally, relax. Become aware of sounds in the distance. Become aware of the most distant sounds that you can hear. Let your sense of hearing operate like a radar beam, searching out distant sounds and following them for a few seconds. Move your attention from sound to sound without attempting to identify the source. Gradually bring your attention to closer sounds, to sounds inside the room you're in. Now begin to develop an awareness of the room you're in. Without opening your eyes, visualize the four walls, the ceiling, the floor, and your body lying on the floor. Total awareness of your body lying in perfect stillness. Your body is lying on the floor. Develop your awareness of all the physical meeting points between your body and the floor. Become aware of the natural breath. Become aware of your deep, natural, and spontaneous breath. But try not to concentrate too hard. Just keep listening to me and know that you are breathing. And we'll now begin the rotation of consciousness through the different centers of the body. As quickly as possible, your awareness is to jump from point to point. You'll repeat mentally the name of each part after me and simultaneously become aware of that part. This practice always begins with the right hand. The right hand thumb, the second finger, third finger, fourth finger, fifth finger, palm of the hand, back of the hand, the right wrist, lower arm, elbow, upper arm, shoulder, right armpit, right waist, hip, right thigh, knee, calf muscle, ankle, heel, sole of the right foot, top of the foot, the right big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe. The left hand thumb, the second finger, the third finger, the fourth finger, the fifth finger, the palm of the left hand, back of the hand, the wrist, the lower arm, the elbow, the upper arm, the shoulder, the armpit, the left waist, the hip, the left thigh, the knee, the calf muscle, the ankle, the heel, the sole of the left foot, top of the foot, left big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe, the right shoulder blade, the left shoulder blade, the right glute, the left glute, the spine, the whole back together, the top of the head, the forehead, the right eyebrow, the left eyebrow, the eyebrow center, the right eyelid, the left eyelid, the right eye, the left eye, the right ear, the left ear, the right cheek, the left cheek, the nose, the tip of the nose, the right nostril, the left nostril, the upper lip, the lower lip, the chin, the jaw, throat, right collarbone, left collarbone, right chest, left chest, middle of the chest, navel, abdomen, lower abdomen, the whole right leg, the whole left leg, both legs together, the whole right arm, the whole left arm, both arms together, the whole back, the whole front, the whole head together, legs, arms, back, front, head together, the whole body together, the whole body together. Develop a homogeneous awareness of the whole body and become aware of the space occupied by your body. Become aware of your body and the space that is occupied by your body, body and space. Become aware of the whole body and the floor. Your whole body in relation to the floor. And at the same time, become aware of the meeting points of the body and the floor. These are very subtle physical points between body and the floor. Feel the meeting points between the back of your head and the floor, the shoulder blades and the floor, the elbows and the backs of the hands and the floor, the glutes, the calves, the heels, and the floor. Have an awareness of all the meeting points between the body and the floor simultaneously, evenly. Now move your attention to your eyelids. Feel the narrow line of meeting between the upper and lower eyelids. Intensify your awareness between your eyelids. Now move your attention to your lips. Center your attention on the line between the lips, the space between the lips. From the lips, we go to the breath. Draw your attention to the natural ingoing and outgoing breath. Feel the breath moving along the passage between the navel and the throat. On inhalation, it rises from the navel to the throat. And on exhalation, it descends from the throat to the navel. Do not try to force the breath. Just be aware of it. Maintain your awareness and at the same time start to count your breaths backwards as follows. I am breathing in 54. I am breathing out 54. I am breathing in 53. I am breathing out 53, and so on. Count to yourself mentally as you follow the rise and fall of your breath. If you lose count, just start back at 54. Now, leave your breathing and begin to awaken a feeling of heaviness in the body, a feeling of heaviness. Become aware of heaviness in every single part of your body. Begin to feel so heavy that you sink into the floor. Keep an awareness of your breath and an awareness of this heaviness. Now begin to awaken a feeling of lightness. Awaken the feeling of lightness. A sensation of lightness and weightlessness in all parts of the body. Your body feels so light that it seems to be floating away from the floor. Keep an awareness of your breath and an awareness of this lightness. Now begin to withdraw your mind and concentrate on the space in front of your closed eyes. Imagine before you a transparent screen through which you can see infinite space. A space that extends as far as the eyes can see. Concentrate on this dark space and become aware of any phenomena that manifests within it. Whatever you see is the manifesting state of your mind. Continue your awareness of this space, but do not become involved. Practice a detached awareness only. Imagine yourself walking along a deserted road on a hot day. Beside the road is a high wall, and in the wall, a small door. You go through that door and discover inside a garden. Birds are singing, beautiful flowers, cool, shady trees. You explore the garden and come to a well with butterflies dancing around the top. Look inside the well. It is very deep. A cylindrical tunnel boring into utter darkness. The spiral stairway twists around the wall, and you start walking down. Within the walls, there are polished stones, yellow and white marble, emerald green serpentine. Look up and see the circle of light at the top of the well. From holes in the walls, you hear the sounds of small animals, squeaks and rustling sounds. By now, you are completely surrounded by darkness. You feel your way along the walls. Large green eyes gaze at you and blink shut. There's the beating of wings and the hoot of an owl. You pass through a cloud of luminous insects, completely transparent. You are surrounded by these, but none ever touches you. The walls are damp and mossy. There is a dim light below. You reach the bottom and run through a tunnel, and you come out on a golden beach. A golden beach on the shore of an infinite ocean of peace and bliss. On the water, a large white lotus flower is rocked gently by the waves. On the flower, there is a baby, and that baby is you. You feel yourself as that baby, rocking gently on the waters of the infinite ocean. Continue this experience of yourself as a baby, rocking gently on the water, and experience the sound of Om over the infinite ocean. Hear the vibration of Om. Begin to bring your awareness back to the dark space that you see in front of your closed eyes. Watch the darkness that you see before you very carefully. Rest your mind in this warm and friendly darkness. If any subtle phenomena manifest, colors or patterns, simply take note of these and continue with your awareness. If thoughts occur, let them come and then let them go. But continue to watch this dark space. Begin to become aware of your breathing. Become aware of your natural breathing. Have an awareness of your breath and an awareness of your relaxation. Begin to develop an awareness of your physical existence. Become aware of your arms and your legs and your body lying stretched out on the floor. Become aware of the meeting points between your body and the floor. Develop an awareness of your room, the walls, and the ceiling. noises inside the room and noises outside. Begin to take your mind out and become completely external. Lie quietly for a few moments and keep your eyes closed. Begin to move your body and stretch yourself, taking your time, wiggling your fingers and your toes, maybe twirling the wrists and twirling the ankles. Maybe it feels good to stretch the arms up and overhead. And if you'd like to stay reclined, lying down, feel free. But if you'd like to sit up, gently curl over to one side and gently press yourself back up into a seat, nice and slow, taking your time, keeping the eyes closed. Your Yoga Nidra practice is complete. Thank you all for coming. If you have any questions or comments or concerns, let me know. Drink lots of water. Get lots of good sleep. Hi, Blair. Hi, Stacey.